Good morning and welcome back to the Yorkshire coast. It is just before sunrise. It may not look like it with the clouds that are coming in, but yeah, we should have sunrise imminently. We are at my favourite spot on the coast, Ravenscar, but it's been heavily hit by people over the last little bit. So who knows what we will find, but there's some big tides today, so we'll have a wander around some of the bits that we don't normally see and see what we can find. Back with you when we start getting something. Just your standard reminder at this point, the bedrock here is protected, so please don't be smashing the bedrock. You do not need to, especially when the tides and seas will be doing their work. There's plenty of loose stuff, so we'll pick up the nodule there. There's another nodule just in there, and so we'll pick those up, give them a tap and see if there's anything inside. Quick game of spot the fossil. Just a partial deck, and looks like it might be blown out anyway, so that'll stay here. Somewhat easier game of spot the fossil. A lovely beach prep deck for me. Oop. Perfect. The sun is trying, but it's still not able to get through all the cloud, and there is more coming, so lovely little bivalve. I always forget the name of them, but yeah, that's nice enough to keep. Some Hogia bed stuff has come down in the first bay. I think this has been down a while, and I think a few people had Hogias out of here, but that's a big partial there. Sadly just a partial and middle blown, and then there's another partial imprint, at least here. So a couple of bits have come down, worth keeping an eye out in case there's any nodules in the area, but I think they may well have been picked already. A bit of a shame about this Perrinoceros. The outside looks nice and the nodes are lovely, but middle badly preserved, and if you look at the outside of that whorl, it's all blown out, so perhaps not surprising, but tapped it just in case. That one just gave me pause for thought. Sadly just a piece of wood, but I did have a bit of hope when I first saw it that it might be something more exciting, but nope, that'll stay here. Not much, but it's a nice little Perrinoceros. You can see the nodes just there. They look pretty nice, so put that in the bag. I'm going to play a game with you and show you what is a big disappointment, but you probably will never see it with the lighting, unfortunately. But this is a lighter, or was a lighter, very squished. I don't pretend otherwise, but we can just see, or I can just see some ribs here that come around. This would have been the middle, and this is the other side of it, so it would have whirled this way. There may be bigger chunks of it out that you can just about see. With the shape of the keel coming around, but yeah, it's I appreciate very difficult to see with the light how it is, but yeah, that's a disappointment. I had stopped to look because there's a nice piece of wood there, but yeah, then saw the ammonite sticking out, but yeah, it's a tricky one to see, and I don't pretend it will be easy for you all, but bedrock and squished, so it's staying where it is. A lovely little split on that Perrinoceros, and Sean's showing me up with his Hildies. He popped that one, which is quite a nice little one. A bit of a shame about that one. Would have been a nice size pseudo, but sadly only a partial. Middle missing from here. Yeah, spot the fossil. Fairly easy, I think. Just a Hildy keel sticking out in the bedrock. A bit of a fun one. I actually don't know what it is. My guess is it's a Hildy, but heavily worn so that the keel's gone. But there's like no visible ribs, only a little bit of suture line visible. Yeah, I think that'll just have to come back as a prep. Yeah, it looks like there's been some fresh falls, and the sea has been moving some things around. There's a lot more material down lower on the beach that we're just rummaging through, including these ones here, some lovely grammos, and I saw a partial bivalve just tucked in under here. But that will stay here. A little disappointing, partial philo. Middle would have just been where my thumb is. But hey, onwards. A reasonable piece of fossil wood. I picked it up just because it's interesting. Nice bit of oyster growing on it as well, so that would have been there in situ, in life. But I'm not going to keep it. I found one of the fallen blocks that's obviously the right layer for all the bivalves, so a nice selection of them. Yeah, it's such a shame when things are in the shales, because there's some beautiful, beautiful shell preservation on these, but middle's all blown out. Alas. I came to spot the fossil that's in my hand. You might just see this imprint. Yeah, there's a lovely, lovely shiny keel there. I saw this little bit sticking out of a nodule at the side of this bolt that you can see I was split trying to get it out. There's another nodule in behind that was attached to this one. So I might see if that will come out and see if there's anything more within it. But yeah, that grammo should be a treat. There's a hog, yeah, in the bedrock. In fact, in the cliff. I'm a bit close, I admit. But yeah, look at the size of that. Would have been a beauty. All blown out, no middle. If you were to dig it out, you'd be an idiot because it's a high risk of stuff falling. Yeah, it was just tapping down a grammo nodule. That one popped out nicely, so we'll take that one as is. That one should have quite a nice middle. Looks like a little cat. Sadly, this whorl's gone, but the middle should all be there. So we'll take that as is rather than tap it. Yeah, a decent little grammo. There's another one there that's come off, but yeah, that one there should be all right. And that is a lovely, lovely grammo. Typically at the wrong angle through the nodule. I was expecting it to be sat there, and then yeah. So yeah, nice. Yeah, another decent little bivalve. That's about as big a grammo, or possibly a grammo relative, as I've ever seen. Yeah, that would have been huge. Shame it is not all there. And that is one of the rarer ammonites, or at least the levels. So that's the blue white stuff. And yeah, sadly they always have rubbish middles. But yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, that one's unfortunate. Lovely big nodule. Tapped it down, and sadly a single ammonite right in the middle, and it all fractured apart. But that was the rock as a whole, and sadly nothing else in it, just that one grammo. But yeah, shame. And another one of those blue white things, but sadly that is flat and squished. Such a shame. Yeah, some alright grammos in that block I've just split down. Quite a few of those blocks around, but may not take those. We'll leave them there and come back to them. I'm pretty sure that's a little shale preserved hogia just knocking around. Sadly all gone, but yeah. Hey ho. Yeah, just saw this partial just sticking out. Clearly not great shape, so I gave it a tap. It split what I would consider both good and bad. Like obviously this bit's all gone, but I actually quite like how that's exposed all that calcite and left the little ammonite at the bottom, or at least the centre of the ammonite at the bottom. It's nice. I'll take that. Yeah, another nice little grammo. Nothing exciting to write home about, but we take them all. Yeah, I was going to say I hadn't seen a pseudo, but I'd smashed a partial up earlier, didn't I? So yeah, there's a pseudo with a little middle. It was probably a lot bigger at one point, but yeah, it's okay. Another nice looking grammo. Don't tend to collect just rocks, but that's quite a nice one, pre-polished by the sea. Probably come down from Scotland, I would guess, looking at it. Nothing local to us, at least. And the nice partial hildy. Yeah, a lovely grammo block that I'm not even going to tap. So there's one big one visible there, one next to it, one there. The ones I spotted on that side, there's two there. So yeah, we'll take that one and prep as is. Yeah, it didn't look like much, but yeah, we'll take those hildies every day. Yeah, it's another lovely day. It's not particularly sunny, but it is quite warm still and quite sticky with the humidity. So definitely feeling it, having clambered back and forth between the two bays and got back just before the tide has come in. We walked through that all of about 10 minutes ago, where the water now is lapping. So yeah, we are going to slowly start working our way back, but as we do, it's worth just checking out stuff. And so I've got a few bits that I've picked up as we've come back into the bay. So let's see what we got. We've got a nice looking deck straight out the sands, and another deck, another deck, and this is the interesting one. So I saw this shell, nice bivalve. and then tapped it and then exploded out a partial shell, which is Horgia. And then as I was hitting it some more, there's another one just being exposed here, or at least a part of one. Whether or not that is whole is to be determined. But I'm hoping it'll be a fairly quick tickle with my pen at home to just see if this one's worth saving, or if not, we'll smack the block down a bit further and see if there's anything else further inside it. But yeah, it's one of those unusual blocks, got belemnite fragma cone in it, lots of bits and pieces, so there may well be more stuff hidden within, but don't want to hit it in case that Horgia is actually alright, and don't want to explode it further. Not a bad little start. That's a bit of a heartbreak, that one. Lovely fossil. But yeah, sadly middle blown out. There's another little one there, missing bits, so that'll stay there. But that's what you need to just do, plenty of bits around. Yeah, so it's been a pretty good day. You can probably tell based on the last video, new hard hat needs my logo on it. My hair is growing back, it's still quite short though, but we're getting there. So yeah, it's been like a month or so since I was last out, but nice to get back out on the coast, and it's been a pretty good day. Nothing fantastically rare, although that being said, Sean, who I'm out with, did get what I think is a sea urchin from the blue white stuff, though it could be quite an interesting piece. But yeah, lots of hildies, grammos, maybe a Horgia, usual array of things that we expect from here, and not excited to climb the hill, but that's how it goes. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you will be here for the next one. Catch you soon.